This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video brought to you by Trade Coffee. In just a moment, Trade Coffee. In just a moment, I'm going to talk about an offer from them that I think you should pay attention to. Before I get to that, though, let's talk about this NBC News headline, which is based on, I believe, New York Times reporting that the January 6th panel now has enough evidence to refer Trump for criminal charges. Refer Trump for criminal charges. Not refer the entire investigation for some level of criminality. We're talking about Donald Trump himself. This is from Liz Cheney, Republican Liz Cheney, who said, "It's absolutely clear that what President Trump was doing, what a number of people around him were doing, that they knew it was unlawful. They did it anyway." She is the vice chair of the January 6th Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection, the attempted coup, the attempted overthrow of the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair and settled American election. Something that has never been done in the history of the country. This is important for a number of different reasons. One, it really goes, well, first of all, there's contention in the committee. Many of the Democrats on the committee don't want to forward this on for fear that it's going to look political. Justice is not political. Who cares what Republicans think about whether or not it's political? It is not political. If there's evidence, we will convict. If the evidence doesn't hold up, then we will not. That's how justice works. I do not understand this compulsion by Democrats to play by rules that Republicans would never play by. They will consider not pursuing justice in order that everybody gets along and it looks bipartisan. Who cares? Who cares? We want justice. We want consequence. Not some kumbaya moment. Anyway, I'm going to take a breath. We'll continue after this word from the sponsor of this video, Trade Coffee. Most coffee that we drink is garbage. It's dull, it's dated, and it's dubiously sourced. But it can be tough to pick a new roast or brand. The world of options at the grocery store so often makes me go blank. But no longer. I recently started a subscription with Trade Coffee, and my caffeine world has been put right. Trade Coffee sells the freshest, the most ethically sourced beans from the finest independent roasters around the United States, and they'll ship them right to your doorstep as often as you like. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/Dollemore or click the link in the description below. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Start today by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/Dollemore and let Trade find the coffee that you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/Dollemore for $30 off. Whether you favor whole bean like me, or ground, or even if you dig instant coffee, or maybe you're one of those fancy folks who prefer the latest exclusive Gesha. Trade's coffee experts taste test over 450 roasts and use technology to match the perfect coffee to you based on your taste and your brewing preferences. Trade subscription is zero hassle. You can skip shipments, change your delivery frequency, or cancel at any time. And Trade is so confident that you'll love your first bag that if you don't, they'll send you a brand new bag for free. And also, no big deal, but Trade has delivered over 5 million bags of coffee and garnered over 750,000 positive reviews. Help support these small businesses, including my channel, by heading to drinktrade.com/Dollemore and start down the path toward caffeine paradise right now. Let me read briefly from this the NBC News article, because we need to, as Americans, get our brains around this entire thing. The problem with prosecuting criminality, especially things that are conspiracies, and I don't mean conspiracy as in like 9/11 was an inside job. I mean a criminal conspiracy where there are conspirators who group together, who gather together to see that a criminal act is completed. I don't know if that's the technical definition of the word conspiracy, but it's the layman term. I'm a layman. The House panel investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the United States Capitol has enough evidence to refer President Donald Trump for criminal charges, Representative Liz Cheney said Sunday. It's absolutely clear that what President Trump was doing, what a number of people around him were doing, that they knew it was unlawful. They did it anyway, Cheney, the vice chair of the committee, and one of the Republicans on the committee said on CNN's State of the Union, when host Jake Tapper asked her whether the panel had enough evidence to make a criminal referral for Trump. Cheney said the panel has not made a decision about moving forward with the referral. The New York Times reported that the committee has concluded that it has enough evidence to make a criminal referral, but that its leaders were divided over whether to do so. Quote, I think what we have seen is a massive and well-organized and well-planned effort that used multiple tools to try to overturn the election, Cheney said. The committee has got a tremendous amount of testimony and documents that I think very, very clearly demonstrate the extent of the planning and the organization and the objective. She added, the objective was absolutely to try to stop the kind of electoral votes, to try to interfere with that official proceeding, and it's absolutely clear that they knew what they were doing was wrong. Not just that it was wrong ethically or morally, that it was wrong criminally. It was outside of the bounds of the Constitution of the United States of America, to which every one of these idiots has rose their right hand, and swore or affirmed to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This is about preserving democracy. And Democrats are worried about bipartisanship. They're worried about the optics of it. I'll tell you what optics look real good, Democrats. Preserving our union. Do you think Abraham Lincoln worried about offering patronage jobs so people would vote for the 13th Amendment? Do you think he cared about the optics of it when he suspended habeas corpus? Oh, what are they going to think about it? Lead! Be leaders! Be champions of democracy. That's what you're paid to do. Not mealy mouth. And worry about how Republicans are going to think of you. They already hate you. Republicans are already not dedicated to the prospect of democratic functioning. Who cares if they're going to say it's partisan, whether it's partisan or not? She referred to a ruling in a civil suit involving the committee last month in which a federal judge found that based on the evidence, Trump most likely, quote, this is from a federal judge, attempted to obstruct the joint section of Congress on the day of the attack, which would be a crime. Quote, this is from the judge, the federal judge. I'm calming down. From the judge, the illegality of the plan was obvious, U.S. District Judge David Carter wrote of Trump and lawyer John Eastman's plan to have then Vice President Mike Pence determine the results of the 2020 election. Quote, every American, and certainly the President of the United States, knows that in a democracy, leaders are elected, not installed. With a plan this bold, President Trump knowingly tried to subvert this fundamental principle. And that is where I'm going to leave you. Call your member of Congress, especially if you have one on the January 6th Select Committee. Partisanship isn't the end goal here. Preserving the union and the country and our very democracy. That's the objective. They need to get their heads on straight. And they need to worry about the things that matter, not the things that don't. Optics are but an afterthought in times like these. What do you think, though? Am I wrong? Do you agree? I would especially like to hear from you if you disagree. Even if you're a Trump-supporting maniac, maybe especially if you're a Trump-supporting maniac, I'd like to hear from you. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate every moment that you spend engaged with my content and engaged in making this country a better place. Follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Dollemore. And if, and only if, I bring you some value, consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.